I really want to submit because it's the most relaxing. You can relax. You can relax as a woman and know that this man is very intelligent. Actually, he knows what he's doing. Actually, I can listen to his advice. But see, when you don't feel that from the man and you feel actually you are here and actually you know more than this man, like spiritually, maybe financially, how can you rely on him?
Welcome back to Beyond This Point. Today we're going to watch a video by Kingdom Daughters, and the video is going to be about, can women fully submit to men that make less than them? Let's look into this and let's see what we can learn.
Alright, so I want to make this video about whether a woman can truly submit to a man that earns less than her, because honestly this is such an interesting topic, and especially in my own life experience. I've had this conversation with my own sister in Christ and we've gone back and forth with that, and it's just like I've come to the conclusion because it's based on my own experience. I'm not just speaking off of like, oh, I'm just making it up and I've never experienced it. Actually, let me explain. So for most people, maybe you think, oh, but love is enough. Love is enough. If she's earning more, that's fine. They can get through it. But see, it's so much deeper than that. And actually, I don't even think, is it real love? I don't know, because let me explain to you. When money and how much you earn, I'll straight up just say it. It is a mindset. It's to do with minds. It's not just something like external, like, oh, look, money. Like, it's nothing to do with who I am as a person. I just have it. No. Maybe, okay, if you're a trust fund kid, that's completely different. Okay, it's completely different. That person's mindset could be trash. But I'm speaking on, like, usually how much a person earns is dependent on mindset. And look, there are situations where a man is pursuing something, in the middle of pursuing business or something he's creating to earn more revenue, and that's completely fine, okay? That's completely fine. That means you've still got the same mindset as this woman, and you are already pursuing and have the potential to make more and be the provider, okay? No worries. Okay, that's one scenario. It's one exception. Every other exception, no. You know why? Because why is this man, okay, first of all, the Bible says do not be unequally yoked. Not just spiritually, okay? Spiritually, everything. Spiritually, I think financially, I think every other aspect. Mindset-wise.
Okay, I gotta interrupt briefly because we're just 2 minutes in exactly, and the first thing that I noticed mainly is that her body language and the fact that she didn't prepare well what she wanted to talk about already is a bad way to start the video. So body language wise, she's giving off the vibe that she's nervous, she's tensious, insecure. You know what I mean? Like, it's constantly touching themselves to comfort themselves, constantly losing their train of thoughts, and not being able to stick to a flow. And I'm not saying that to be harsh, rude, or judgmental. I'm just saying that makes the video come off in a way that people are most likely to click off, because these 2 minutes were very precious already by default to be able to keep people's attention if you want to relay a message of importance, even if it's biblical. The title is very good. I think also because there are a lot of people that are interested in knowing in today's society, according to today's standards, with the shift in the gender dynamics, that if it's possible for men to be chosen even if they're not making annually as much as the woman, that the woman chooses the man, but that the man has shortcomings financially. And if you add to it that they're also playing into traditionalism within Christianity, in Christian values, is that also reasonable? Because traditionally speaking, it's always been the other way around, right? You look at examples as Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons, for example, right? And it all has to do with the hierarchical standards within the household. Father first, the man, the husband, then the wife, the mother, and then the children. So everybody has their place. But if you talk about today's standards, if the woman is a career driven person and the man just doesn't make as much because, for example, he's blue collared, does that mean that she's still going to be able to submit personality wise, religious wise, and societal wise? I mean, this is a very good question you can search out in many brackets and go over it. And the whole lukewarm thing or the half yoke thing, I've heard it so many times before. I think people get to perceive it more on a spiritual level than an actual, societal thing, cultural thing. Because when you say finances is just a mindset, many people see it as an actuality reflection of quality of life in society. So if the numbers don't add up, or if the numbers aren't high enough, that states a clear signal. And that's not just a mental thing, that's just a signal that will make it or break it, that will make you succeed in a relationship or not. Even if you're not about money, even if money doesn't get privatized, it will still play a large portion in your life if you want it or not.
Calling wise, destiny wise. Because actually the main reason of your partner is for your destiny. It's not even, yes, you'll be attracted to them, you'll love them because it's a God-given relationship, but it's actually for your destiny, to fulfill your calling in God together. And so you need to be walking as one. Okay. So if a woman is earning more than a man, and this man has no interest in like, okay, he's earning something, okay, but he can't provide for her actually. Actually, she's providing for the man and the house, and she's actually become the head of the house, and she's actually become the leader. I then question, you have two different mindsets. Because for me, when I see money, someone earning, it shows your intelligence, it shows wisdom. Why does the Bible say, Proverbs, the diligent will rule and the lazy will be put to forced labor?
Well, I want to add something to it of importance as well. I don't personally think that finances or the amount of money you own, that reflects on your intellect. You gotta be smart to be able to make money, whether it's on a diplomatic, educational, manner, or it's because you know how to manipulate reality to get the money. But I don't personally think that that's in generally a true fact to state, because you can have all the money in the world, but you can be a complete idiot because you do not know how to utilize it, how to use it properly. So it's not because you can make money fast and a lot at the same time, it's what you do with it afterwards when you have it. So that, to me, it's not an actual fact you should be stating. I think there's more to it than just saying, okay, the guy is smart because he can make a lot of money in a short time. Well, that's good that he figured it out. It's like cracking the code. But can he handle it well? Can he utilize it? Will he maximize it in a way that reflects that intellect? That is something that's way more important than just getting the money. Anybody can make or get money, but what do you do with it? That's the question, and that reflects you as a person, if you're on a higher level or on a lower level.
And obviously that's transferable in a lot of different meanings, contexts, but in this context, why wasn't this man more diligent than me? If this man is to lead me and teach me things, and for me to trust him and know that he knows a lot of other things that he can show me, and I can actually trust him with finance and being a provider, why am I earning more than him? How is he my husband actually? How is he even my husband? Because now you've become the leader. And then over time, gradually, you start to build up a natural disrespect and bitterness towards the man, because actually, how do you even love him? Because what is love? You actually love the person for who they are, okay? So if the person isn't this person isn't for you, if their mindset does not match your calling, look, people have different callings, but they still, if it's God-given and God-blessed, you still somehow match each other and it makes sense. He understands and he knows how to support your calling. You know how to support his calling because your faith is at the same level, or even maybe the man's higher than yours. I just truly believe the man's faith should either be very higher than yours or at least just a bit above, because not because our men are better than women, but actually the Bible says Christ is the head of man, man is the head of woman. So it means there's an order. So the man has to be on top. Why is the woman up here with finance? Finance is more than just finance. It shows how diligent this man was to pursue wisdom in order to gain finance. For me, I see intelligence. This person figured out a way to make this much money, and they actually showed discipline, willpower, drive, ambition, and also obviously asking the Lord, because guess what? Proverbs says, like, why is the diligent ruling? Because they're diligent in asking for wisdom and pursuing and asking God, and not just complaining about their life and, oh, I work my 9-to-5 job, I hate my life. Okay, that's your mindset. And I'm sorry, but no woman that's, let's say, operating here, she can't respect that mindset.
The couple of seconds before I pause the video, that's just her defining BP. That's really funny. She's just defining BP content. But again, the mindset thing, personally, no. What you're talking about, if you really look at, if you want to be biblical, accurate, and even go outside of canonical work, you will see that Christ in person actually rejected monetary wealth and gains, because anything that was collected, because everything was communal, shared and maximized, optimized and maximized to utilize from one day to another, not stretched out over a year, not stretched out over a month or a week. It was done for, okay, what do we need now? Do we have enough? Everything that's excessive, we give to people that don't have anything at all. That's where alms and charity and donations come from, that concept, that principle. But it's funny the way she says that, because she creates this impression that, like, look, if you lack money, you just ask Christ and he will bestow all the wealth of the world upon you if you have faith. It goes against the teachings and the principles. It's kind of the opposite, if you really want to go into it. And I've seen a lot of people, especially prosperity teachers and preachers, say that wealth is a part of the faith, a part of the religion, and you should go for it. But I personally think, any way you want to look at it, it's not being able to gain that money through hard work, labor, discipline, whatever, education. It's what you do with it once you have it, and you utilize it accordingly, for example, to biblical standards, depending on where you are in life. It's a personal choice. But the point of the matter is, don't be selfish, don't be greedy, and don't be needy.
And I want to say this in the most non-disrespectful way. Like, guys, when I say this, I'm speaking like, everyone's got someone on their level. If a woman cannot submit to you, she's not the woman for you. She's not the woman for you. This video is just, I guess, a way of like bringing, I guess, awareness. Like, let's say if a man, he's confused, why isn't this woman submitting? Oh, women are such Jezebel, she's too masculine. Actually, let me tell you the truth. Look, in some cases, there are some women that are just genuinely just so Jezebel. There's no hope. Okay, that's like the very small majority, whatever, or big majority, I don't know. But then there's women, like for me, I'm speaking from perspective of a woman who truly, I want nothing more than to submit to a man, right? And I've had a lot of experiences where I really want to submit, because it's the most relaxing. You can relax.
Yeah, the fact that she stated it out loud on the internet right now, I can promise her there's going to be a line of men waiting to get the opportunity to be with her, just for that statement, because of that statement. And it's funny, and I'm just saying that, and I'm highlighting that in a way because it has become a rarity. And I'm not saying that in a way of, okay, everybody has to play either a high level part or a low level part in a relationship and it's gender based. I'm saying that it is like a breath of fresh air for a lot of people, for a lot of men, because no guy wants to go through drama, stress, and struggle all the time, even if he's willing to play his part right, whether it's out of Christian values or whether it's because out of traditionalism, whether it's cultural based or not. It's the whole dragging on, it's the whole suffering part, it's the whole continuation of no fulfillment at all that turns into a resentful, spiteful, bitterful, aka Jezebel orientated individual, female. And it's sad, you know. But what I want to point out specifically is it's not always completely a personality thing, or if you believe in possession thing. It's also like a end result of what society, Western society, has created, and people or women that fell victim to it. You know, it's kind of like being manipulated, being forced into, being convinced, you know. And with whatever is going on now, more and more people become like an end result of what happened, because you are your environment, you become your environment, you know. Some people have a stronger personality, character to overcome it later on in life, but some people can't, and they succumb to that. They completely submit to that unknowingly. So it's not for every man to take the lead in that way and try to drag the woman out of that place, that dark place, and make her come back into, you know, a place of light and security and serenity. It's also up to the woman to understand, you know where she came from, where the errors lies, and what she can do to optimize the quality of life for herself before adding to a relationship and playing her part. And things like therapy, for example, and counseling can help a lot, but also finding the right person as well. But the only thing with this problematic is that a lot of women in this scenario that would be defined as Jezebel spirited, they're not willing to compromise. And because there is no will to compromise, or aka submit and let the man lead, then it's never going to work out. You know, it's like already doomed and a failure from the beginning. And you can be a highly spiritual person, you can be very devotional, you can have a lot of faith, but if that part is rooted in your personality, then anything beyond that point of being single, it's not going to be fulfilling, because there is always going to be this obstacle.
As a woman, and know that this man's very intelligent. Actually, he knows what he's doing. Actually, I can listen to his advice, but see, when you don't feel that from the man, and you feel actually you are here, and actually you know more than this man, like spiritually, maybe financially, how can you rely on him? And you've got like more, let's say you're pursuing higher things in the Lord, and this man is okay with just living, let's say, here, okay? How can you expect this woman to come down here and go, okay, I'll forfeit my whole calling just to submit to you, and I'll just be dumb. Okay, I'm not saying he's dumb, but I'm saying I'll dumb myself down and settle for less and just to have a happy marriage. Impossible. And I'm not saying that to belittle, because guess what? It's the same for me. Why should I expect to be with some hectic man of God, who's, let's say, the biggest evangelist ever, on preaching the gospel everywhere in the world, and I'm going, oh yeah, I want to be with a man like that. Okay, but I'm not the hectic woman of God that I need to be spiritually to be with this man, to support his calling. He will support my call. We're not equally yoked. Why should I be delusional to think that I should be with someone like that? Impossible. It's the same. So God will give you someone, like, okay, for a woman, he should be up here. For a man, yeah, she should be at least a bit down here, okay? Not saying a woman is supposed to be more dumb, not saying that. It's just, everyone's different, okay? And God's made everyone very differently, for different gift sets, okay? Not everyone's called to finance, not everyone's called to business, not everyone's called to evangelist. Okay, it's just, that's why you need to know, if you cannot submit to a man and you want to, he's not the man for you. If a woman cannot submit to you, she's not the one for you. It's just facts. And so that's why I'm making this video, like, no, money is more than just money. It's a mindset. It shows how diligent was this person to seek and be prepared for marriage. Because let me tell you, I've had many experiences, guys. Like, it's really sad because I've even had this conversation with my friend. I'm like, oh, but maybe I can, but you know, maybe I have a gift in this and stewarding money, and then he's got this gift and we can somehow make it work, even though I'll be making more than him. But his mindset isn't even like, he doesn't have the drive he doesn't have the same drive as me. How can I submit? Like, you know, I want to, but he doesn't have the same drive. How can we walk together? So I've had this experience, and it's sad because yes, you do like the person and they have a lot of good values, and maybe they love you so much and they're really sweet, like really sweet, but like you feel like you're forfeiting your calling. And unfortunately, like you either choose God, or you choose just to live in this low-level marriage, or whatever you want to call it, you know. And yeah, this is, I guess, like a message as well, like to guys, like if you're okay with a woman leading you, it's really wrong. It's really, 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 really wrong. If she's providing for you, you're her son. You're her son. You're not her partner. She can never truly be attracted to you. Okay, she just cannot. And I've experienced this, like truly a woman will naturally disrespect a man that she cannot trust, to do things for her, like to just know what they're doing in life in general and in God and spiritually. And so that's why, no, love is not enough, because let me tell you, was it even love? I don't even think it was love. Like I said, the only exception is if both of you're pursuing two things together, same mind. It's all about the mind. If the man has no understanding of pursuing higher things with you, there's no way it will work. And yeah, you have to cut it off. Like, and men, like, and this is to women as well, like if you expect a Proverbs 31 woman, or you could say even man, but you're sitting in your basement, you're not doing anything with your life, you're not preparing for marriage, like you want marriage, but you've done nothing to get your finances in order, and you're dreaming of this amazing woman, oh, she's so woman of God, ambitious, I want to be with her. Like, she will never be with you. She will never want to be with you. And even if she wants to be with you, because I've been in this situation, even if I want to be with this man, my natural biology just doesn't let me. My natural biology does not allow me. This Holy Spirit does not allow me. Because the Holy Spirit is literally like you're giving up your calling just to be with this man, because he's a sweet man. He's very nice, okay? He's good looking. And so you need to be prepared for marriage. It's not just something, like I've had men say, oh yeah, I want to marry you, oh, all this stuff. But it's like, what have you been doing for the last 5 years of your life? Like, it looks like you've had the same 5 years, you've not changed at all. And now because you meet the woman, now you want to change. Let me tell you, you never be with a person that is saying, oh, I will do this, I will change, all this stuff. And like, they've been a certain way for a certain amount of years. You never be with a person to change them. Ever. I will never. For me, I would never. Because there's a difference between someone who's walked a certain way, let's say whether it's pursuing finance, whatever it is, improving, building a substance. It's actually a character thing. They've built something inside, a firm foundation that you can trust, and you know that actually I'm marrying this person for who they are now. You have to marry someone for who they are now.
Yeah, well, that's a very good point, May. But before I get into that, I want to share the Proverbs 31. So according to the CGB, it says, the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy which with the mother disciplined him, no, my son, no son of my womb, no son of my vows, don't give your strength to women or your ways to that which destroys kings. So that's kind of what she was referring to, specifying, that part that, people that have ill intent, that like, like this spiritual emotional vampires, for example, people that have an intention just to take but not give, or not meet halfway and all that stuff, that's definitely not someone you want to commit to or submit to. And that's kind of reflecting on that as a wise pointer is saying, you know, to keep that in mind when you're dealing with a person. It has to be at the back of your mind. But going back to what she said, if you're with someone and you want to marry someone, you want to commit to someone, but the only thing you have in mind from day one is to how can I alter and change that person to fit my needs or how they see as idyllic, then that's a wrong starting point. It's either how you perceive them within the time you spend together is exactly why you want to commit or submit, then that's fine, because that's the whole idea behind it, because you have to be able to match these energies, right? Personalities, energies, and mindset, and of course, yeah, future perception, like what you want, your goals. These things should align, because that's kind of how you build strong foundations if you have these similarities going on. But if you only think about how to manipulate a person into fitting a narrative that you're writing down or you have scripted, then the intention you're stepping into a relationship is already completely wrong and is already doomed to fail by you know, from the beginning. And a lot of people are trained in the way, in the mindset of, because of social media or because of, you know, rom-coms or whatever, that you, just like when you go to a store, you can decide what you want to buy and what type of dinner you want to make, based on whatever you're picking out of the what they're presenting, right? The produce. But they also convince you that in reality, in life, with dealing with people, you can do the same thing. You can nitpick, you can cherry pick, you can do whatever, and if it's not accordingly, you can change it. And since women are emotionally / mentally, the combination of both elements stronger than men, you know, it's easier for them to get their way if the man is weak-minded, weak-spirited, just like she said. When the man leaves space for these things to happen, and then you get what the Proverbs 31 says, she's just gonna destroy whatever you build. She will destroy your kingdom. You will no longer be a king. So how can you operate and function fully as you should when you decide to partner up or get married? So that's a very good point, or I completely agree with that. It's very logical. That's also the reason why a lot of men decide to go abroad and become like passport bros, you know. And I'm not going to justify for every single case, because again, the personality determines it as well, but in the mindset and the intentions. But there is a reason why a lot of men want to go beyond what they're familiarized with, if it doesn't seem that that's going to help them, you know, in the sense of partnership, long-term partnership, to build something, create something sustainable. And the last thing I want to add before we finish this video is that there are two things that I noticed in the modern context in my surroundings. Is if men get married, they get married to a Christian / Catholic, mainly Catholic woman from either South America, Latin America, or Asia, Southeast Asia, like the Philippines, you know. And if it comes to women, they mostly get married to Islamic men from South Central Europe, or, you know, Northern Africa. And that's something I've noticed a lot of times. So again, Western women most of the time get married. When they do get married, they want to have children, want traditionalism, they go to Islamic men from Islamic countries. Men that want traditionalism and want to get married and have children, the Western men, they go for Catholic women, Christian women. You see, there is a pattern. Just wanted to share that briefly.
It's like you actually do get to like someone, you actually do get to like, you know, maybe their personality, but then actually you naturally start to feel disrespectful to them, and actually you turn into a Jezebel. You know why? Because you cannot trust this man. Anyway, this video turned into a big video, but actually maybe I'll do a live panel, maybe view people's opinions. And you know, I know there'll be some people, maybe they'll be offended by this message and, you know, think, oh no, that's materialistic. A man can be with a woman who earns more. But like you just heard my message, it's not possible. It's Sorry. Like, I really wish, trust me, I wish, because, you know, for me, I've met some nice men with a good heart, but the good heart wasn't enough because I'm seeking for destiny partner. Destiny. You're seeking for destiny partner, yes? Okay, if you're seeking just because you're lonely, okay, maybe you can do this. Okay. But if you're seeking for destiny to fulfill Christ's call on your life, and the main point is to bring people to Christ, right? The main point is to save souls. That's the main point of your whole marriage. You just cannot. No matter how, oh, they've got a good heart and all this stuff. No. Everyone has a certain level of who they're meant to be with. So don't think above your level. I mean, as a woman, you probably can, because to a certain extent, spiritually. But yeah, this is the video. Okay.
Well, I don't have anything to add to it. I think there were some good points she made. Maybe, let's say the center and at the end, let's say the final part of, if you would break up the video in 3 parts, would have been better to use it as a teaser or as an intro to the video to make people want to watch the video. So that would be my advice. There were some good points she made, definitely, but more at the end than at the beginning. But that has to do with structuring, of course. Well, I think it was interesting, was worth watching. It reflects traditionalism in a modern day setting concerning, you know, biblical precepts and whatever works or what doesn't work. If you want to strive for something in this world that has to do with your beliefs, equally with society and how you want to have your household or how you want to see your future partner as being. So if you like it, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and as usually, I'll be seeing you in the next video. Take care.